Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, we have a much quieter day underneath some passing cloud cover in Charleston today and the state as well. No risk of severe thunderstorms and no risk of strong winds as well. Had a low at 47 and an average high, 76 yesterday in Charleston, 0.04 of an inch of rain and a peak wind gust of 40 miles per hour in Charleston. We have high pressure building in from the west today. A lot of lingering clouds and a low chance of a brief shower with light rain that is possible today and early tonight. And then we'll be warming up in the long term. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. Some select cities here. Orlando, near 86 today. Myrtle Beach, 74. 58 in Chicago, 61 in New York City. Watching for a chance of rain and storms in the northeast United States today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we got highs in the 50s to near 60. That'll be it. After that cold frontal passage, we're cooling down with passing clouds and a low chance of a shower. Some clearing skies tonight, lows in the low to some mid-40s. Eastern areas, partly sunny to overcast at times, highs around the 40s and 60s, cooler up in the higher elevation spots, and the highs in the 40s there, and low 60s out in far eastern areas of the state. Some near frosty temps may be possible, some 30s in some of the high elevation spots from east to west. Some upper 50s to low 60s in western West Virginia today with plenty of clouds working through, but again, likely dry. A few light showers are possible today and early tonight. And again, some lows in the mid and upper 30s in here. In southern areas, we have highs ranging from the mid 50s to mid 60s today, 65 in Huntington, low near 42 tonight. Mostly cloudy Charleston, high near 63. Watching for 2 chances of rain and storms Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and then the long-term Tuesday night to Wednesday. We also have some hot and humid conditions on the way. 95 on Monday would be a daily record high, and some daily warm record lows in the 60s.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
More election reaction today. Amelia Knisley will join us from West Virginia Watch. We'll talk to Kanawha County Senator Tom Takubo as well. This is MetroNews Talkline. We're underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Down a man today. TJ Meadows is on assignment. He'll be back tomorrow. Otherwise, gang's all here. Ethan Collins is operating the audio feed for our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. He also handles the phone. Give him a call, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can text the show at 304-TALK-304. Jake Link on the video stream today, as he normally is, about 90% of the time. Appreciate you watching on the Metro News television app, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live as well. Hoppy stops by for his usual Thursday conversation in the second hour. Friend of the show, Robert Bolton, Fairmont State University political science professor, will join us second hour as well to offer his observations on Tuesday's primary election. 800-765-TALK, the phone number. 304-TALK-304 is the text line. Over at westvirginiawatch.com, friend of the show, Amelia Farrell Knisley has a news story posted up, I believe it was yesterday afternoon, with comments from House Speaker Roger Hanshaw, who says memories in the legislature last a long time and will remember the past few weeks. Please welcome to the program, per request, of my mother, Amelia Knisley. Amelia, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. I think you've heard you're my mother's favorite guest, apparently, so we have to have you on more often.
This is great news. This is high praise. I'm sorry to you, but I feel great. Thank you.
Well, good for you, Amelia. Good for
I
you.
hope I don't disappoint her. I'm still have an election mental hangover, so bear with me, Dave's mom.
Well, let's dive in. You got a statement from House Speaker Roger Hanshaw yesterday. He was unopposed in the primary. He will face a challenge in the general election, but he said memories last a long time, and the implication there is nobody's going to forget the governor's approach to this campaign.
Yes, as we've talked about a lot on the show, the governor certainly had a heavy hand in trying to influence the legislative branch this cycle. And it really played out strongly in the House following Tuesday night's results. We have 14 incumbents who lost their races, and several of those were targeted by Governor Morrisey, most notably House Finance Chair Vernon Criss, as you guys have discussed. He lost his primary to an opponent. And, the governor even went to Wood County to campaign against Criss. Very unusual for a governor to do this against someone in his same political party. So I reached out to Hanshaw's spokesperson yesterday and got a quote from Hanshaw saying that it was sad that the governor chose to insert himself where he did not belong rather than focusing on doing his own job these past several months. And as you pointed out, he said we are going to remember these past few weeks as we move into the rest of the year and then the next legislative session.
I think that's important because everybody said the right things the last couple of days. Heard from Josh Holstein, the Republican Party chair, yesterday on midday. Have heard from others. Clay Riley was on this show yesterday. He faced a very difficult primary challenge there in Harrison County. Everybody's saying the right things. Oh, we're on the same team. We'll put this behind us. You've been in the Capitol long enough. I've been there long enough. You only need to be there about 5 minutes to know. I don't buy it. I don't buy it when they all get back in January.
Absolutely. And you have to remember, too, this year, Speaker Hanshaw came out and Clay Riley and others in leadership came out with a very aggressive jobs first economic growth plan. And some of those bills didn't pass because of the tighter relationship between the Senate and the governor, right? Some of it was Senate House fighting, but the governor certainly had a hand in that. And so there are probably hard feelings about jobs bills getting hung up in the Senate. And then now having a governor in the same political party target a member of your leadership. I mean, Vernon Criss was in leadership. He is a longtime lawmaker, very liked in the House for the most part, right? So, yeah, I mean, it is not surprising that there will be hard feelings moving forward.
What stood out to you on Tuesday?
Oh, gosh. I mean, Vernon Criss's loss to me was really shocking. I think the judicial races were shocking too, and TJ's done a great job explaining that. But I personally did not have it on my radar that Criss could lose his election. Huge loss of institutional knowledge and really shows the power that Americans for Prosperity's chapter here has because they campaigned hard against Criss. And I think also really a referendum on how potential changes to the Hope Scholarship could affect people's campaigns in the future.
You wrote about that. I think that's what we talked to you last week about. The candidates who even suggested changes to Hope Scholarship. School Freedom Fund was one of the main ones that they went hard on the offensive in opposition to those candidates.
Absolutely. And a reminder that none of those changes ended up happening that affect how parents use the program. But this is a $300 million program that, if that's how lawmakers choose to spend our budget, that's their right to do so. But we heard a lot of concerns about this growing number in the state budget as we are facing a budget deficit and federal changes to Medicaid. So it kind of stands, it's going to be interesting as we go into next session. Will lawmakers who try to make adjustments to the program face similar onslaughts of attacks in their campaigns, or will they shy away from making any changes to it because of it? I think we're going to have to see, but it's certainly not an issue that's going away.
Amelia Knisley joining us on loan from West Virginia Watch. Senate President Randy Smith was on WAJR's show Talk of the Town here before this one and said, hey, he has every intention of running for re-election as Senate President. I've heard from different people. I'm sure you've spoken to different people. There seems to be a number of folks who are at the very least interested in challenging Randy Smith. Do you think he's still Senate President by the time we get there in January?
Number one rule of a reporter is don't predict what's going to happen. But I think that
he faces a challenge. right?
And I think we can comfortably say it's not going to be an easy road for him to be Senate president. Because even just this past legislative session, we saw members of his own leadership team by the end of session not be on Team Randy. Notably Senator Amy Grady. She is in leadership. And by the end, especially as things kind of compounded over Rayleigh's Law, there was friction there. So I think it'll be interesting to see. And I think he isn't going to just face challenges from the team Takubo. He could face challenges from people within his own faction. This Senate is heavily damaged after this election cycle. I think in the House, more the governor's heavy hand is the damage. And in the Senate, it's more senator on senator violence, I would say. And so I think he faces a hard road as he seeks that reelection.
Is there an opportunity for Democrats to make some headway this November?
I think so. I think that it's going to be just a big messaging push of what they're focused on. One issue that we didn't hear a lot about this campaign cycle was affordability. But that's what voters are talking about, right? Like affording grocery prices and paying for gas. And so I think after a very turbulent cycle that was largely focused on social issues, there's a real opportunity for Democrats to come in and say, hello, we want to be the candidates focused on affordability. I think races to watch are certainly Delegate Sean Fluharty, who will challenge Senator Chapman. And Fluharty has a great bombastic speaking style, and he's really billing his race as more Delegate Fluharty versus the governor, because Chapman is close with the governor.
He tweeted a graphic already about that.
Yes. And so that'll be one to watch. And then I think in Monongalia County, you have Delegate John Williams, in a very blue part of the state, challenging a moderate Republican, Mike Oliverio. And then, of course, the factions come into play. Like Team Takubo has a stake in keeping Mike in the Senate for their team, right? And so there's just a lot of fallout from this election that will continue November, but I see opportunities for Democrats for sure.
I don't know, these more observations that don't have a good conclusion to them, but if I'm a voter and I'm in Mingo County, McDowell County, we're dealing with water issues, and you've seen, and Steve Adams pointed out, over $5 million by the PACs. We were tracking the PAC spending in this.
Yeah.
And you pointed out on X this morning, I thought it was a really good observation, pre-coffee, that that if you're a voter in Mingo or McDowell counties and you're dealing with water issues and you're seeing millions of dollars being poured into campaigns to support these candidates, and you're going, hey, we just want clean drinking water. Are you going to support the candidate getting all this money from PACs, or are you going to go a different direction to somebody who's talking about the issues that are affecting your day-to-day? I don't know the answer to that, but that's got to be a factor.
Well, honestly, and if I could add one more thing to that, I think it's more you're not going to do anything. I think it contributes to voter apathy. And I had a couple people tweeting back at me this morning, like, you don't know how dark money works. And I was like, that wasn't the point of this. The point was that most average West Virginians aren't nerds and in the weeds like us on campaign finance. They just see a headline or a social media blurb about millions of dollars poured into an election, and they just want to turn on their faucet. So it really contributes to political apathy. And so for any candidate who's running in the fall, Republican or Democrat, if they're in a challenge, race, part of their messaging has to be voter turnout. So
I don't know what to make of voter turnout this primary. Do you?
Very low.
It's low.
Low, not surprising, but low. Definitely low.
I went back and was looking, for whatever it's worth. I don't know if it means anything or not. This is where I need TJ and his spreadsheets. But looking at the off-year turnouts, go back to 22, go back to 18, 14. 18's an anomaly. There was super high turnout. It was like 320,000 voters. That was the middle of Trump won. So that's kind of an anomaly. Turnout's never great, but even now, you start to look county by county, Amelia, more nonpartisan ballots. Monongalia County, certainly there were more Democrat ballots, almost 2-1. And it just makes you wonder, where did unaffiliated voters go? Where did they go during this election? Either sit it out or go that way. I don't know.
I believe it was you that posted like an unofficial poll yesterday.
Highly unofficial.
And I didn't see the final results, but when I looked at some of it, I saw that most people were clicking that they just sat this election out. Now, some of that could just be people that weren't going to vote anyway, but I had people tell me personally that they were independent voters who did not think they could vote in this primary, because there was just a lot of confusion over what a closed primary meant. So I think that played a role. I mean, when you look at some of these House races where people lost by 10 votes, Like that low voter turnout really contributed in the closed primary to those issues. But I think, again, as we go into November, there's a real opportunity for Republicans or Democrats to gain back independent voters, but it's going to take messaging for sure.
She's Amelia Knisley. You can read her work over at westvirginiawatch.com. I got another message to the bat phone here. Amelia's my favorite guest, too. So your approval ratings through the roof today.
Nice.
Through the roof.
Thank you. As I could use that after this election cycle. So thank you. I appreciate you. And I have to give you a shout out because you accommodated my schedule today. I'm headed to a kindergarten graduation cookout. So thank you for letting me come on.
Big day.
So
well, congratulations to the graduate.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. Thank you so
much. Thanks, Amelia. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Coming up, we'll check in. Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage, President Trump in Beijing. We'll get the latest on his trip.
Days, evenings, weekends, and holidays. You can't predict when you'll get sick or hurt. But WVU Medicine Urgent Care is prepared to help when you do. Our team treats minor illnesses and injuries and performs services like on-site lab and imaging, vaccinations, and sports physicals. WVU Medicine is ready to assist you and your family when life happens. To find the closest location near you, visit wvumedicine.org/urgent care.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Kanawha Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Kanawha Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
5, 3. For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
President Trump is in China. Yesterday, he sat down for a couple of hours with Chinese President Xi Jinping to discuss everything from oil to the war in Iran, Strait of Hormuz, and markets as well. There was a banquet yesterday evening. Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage is keeping a watch on the president's trip. He joins us on Metro News Talkline. Jonathan, good morning. What was the top line coming out of yesterday's meeting between the two world powers?
Well, I think it depends who you ask. If you ask the Chinese, the top line is Taiwan. China, in their summary of the meeting, they said that U.S.-China relations, the most important issue is Taiwan, and if it's handled badly, the U.S. and China could collide or even come into conflict. Chinese state media said President Xi told President Trump that exact message. Taiwan, as we know, self-governed democracy. It gets a lot of support from the United States to defend itself, but Beijing has never ruled out taking it by force because it claims it as part of its territory. Now, I say that's what the Chinese say was the most important thing, but the White House's summary of the meeting didn't mention Taiwan at all. President Trump even avoided the subject when he was asked. When reporters shouted questions at him later, he ignored them. The White House summary of the meeting included trade, fentanyl, agriculture, Iran, and energy. But like I say, omitting Taiwan, perhaps wanting to avoid escalating tensions in public.
That seems like a solid strategy. With everything else going on, Jonathan, it seems the White House is much more focused on markets, on selling soybeans possibly to China, and certainly China's role in the Iranian conflict. It may be solid strategy just to avoid that prickly issue for the moment.
I think that people will say that because there's nothing to be gained from the United States by talking about Taiwan. The U.S. position is not going to change. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has made that clear. So why bring it up in public unless you have something to say that needs to be said? What the Trump administration wants to do on this trip is talk about trade, talk about their economies, talk about Iran as well. There's nothing to be gained from talking about Taiwan, but China always feels like it has to raise that subject for its domestic audience at least.
Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage. Was there any progress with concern of Iran and China's role in that conflict?
Not really. There has been hope, I think, that China might pressure Iran into negotiations, but after the meeting, there's not been too much discussion about it. Now, in the White House summary of the meeting, they said that both countries agreed that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon and that President Xi opposes militarizing the Strait of Hormuz and any effort to charge a toll for its use, but no inclination that they're willing to go as far as pressuring Iran publicly in order to do anything about it. So the two sides, they want the Strait of Hormuz to remain open for global energy supplies, but exactly how that is going to happen, there's no sign that the summit is going to lead to it happening.
Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage. What's on the agenda for the remainder of the trip, Jonathan?
Well, I would imagine the banquet will have wrapped up by about now. 10:26 p.m. is the time in Beijing at the moment. And then tomorrow, back round the table for more talks. Remember, President Trump has brought a phalanx of American business leaders with him, tech CEOs like Elon Musk and Tim Cook. President Xi personally told them that the door will only open wider. I think tomorrow will be the day when we see and hear announcements about what has been agreed, perhaps a further moratorium on the trade war that we saw last year, perhaps China agreeing to buy things like Boeing airplanes and soybeans. Both sides will be looking to trumpet some wins tomorrow.
What exactly is the role of all of the CEOs that Trump took with him on this trip? Is it just support, or are they there to actually hash out and work out some sort of trade deals?
Well, what they want, particularly the tech CEOs, is they want continued access to the huge Chinese market. They want access without restrictions. Technology is a major battlefield of competition between the U.S. and China. As a result, the U.S. government has imposed export restrictions on things to China, like advanced semiconductors and AI chips. What China wants is relief from those controls, the ability to import American semiconductors. And American tech firms, I think, want to be part of that conversation because they see a lot of money to be made in China.
Fox News Radio's Jonathan Savage. The president's trip to China continues. We'll continue to follow the developments as well. Jonathan, thank you for the update. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text line is 304-TALK-304. Coming up, other side of the news break, we're going to talk to Kanawha County Senator Tom Takubo. He fended off a very tough primary challenge. Nearly $1 million in political action committee spending was dedicated to that race in Kanawha County. We'll get his reaction, his take coming up on the other side of the news. 304-TALK-304, the text line. Couple of text here. I know the answer, Dave. Coalfield County voters would rather fight the culture wars than have reliably clean drinking water. Ask me how I know. Look at the current situation and tell me clean water is more important to them than keeping trans kids from playing sports, because it's not. That's too simple. I mean, you boil that way down, and that is way too simple of an analysis of those voters. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. People will vote. People are motivated by those social issues. That's why they are such a large part of the conversation going into this primary election, going into this primary and then the past elections. They're motivators. But to just flat out say you will take dirty water over clean water because this person supports that, I think it's way too simple of an explanation there. Because I really do think there is an opportunity here if you have the right candidate. And the right candidate, by the way, Texter, cannot go into the Coalfield counties with liberal social issues, and I'm talking about Democrats here, and talk about wanting to fix infrastructure, but go down with liberal social issues. They're not going to win. But a moderate has a chance. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line, 800-765-TALK's the phone number. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, we have a much quieter day underneath some passing cloud cover in Charleston today and the state as well. No risk of severe thunderstorms and no risk of strong winds as well. Had a low at 47 and an average high, 76 yesterday in Charleston, 0.04 of an inch of rain and a peak wind gust of 40 miles per hour in Charleston. We have high pressure building in from the west today. A lot of lingering clouds and a low chance of a brief shower with light rain that is possible today and early tonight. And then we'll be warming up in the long term. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. Some select cities here. Orlando, near 86 today. Myrtle Beach, 74. 58 in Chicago, 61 in New York City. Watching for a chance of rain and storms in the northeast United States today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we got highs in the 50s to near 60. That'll be it. After that cold frontal passage, we're cooling down with passing clouds and a low chance of a shower. Some clearing skies tonight, lows in the low to some mid-40s. Eastern areas, partly sunny to overcast at times, highs around the 40s and 60s, cooler up in the higher elevation spots, and the highs in the 40s there, and low 60s out in far eastern areas of the state. Some near frosty temps may be possible, some 30s in some of the high elevation spots from east to west. Some upper 50s to low 60s in western West Virginia today with plenty of clouds working through, but again, likely dry. A few light showers are possible today and early tonight. And again, some lows in the mid and upper 30s in here. In southern areas, we have highs ranging from the mid 50s to mid 60s today, 65 in Huntington, low near 42 tonight. Mostly cloudy Charleston, high near 63. Watching for 2 chances of rain and storms Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and then the long-term Tuesday night to Wednesday. We also have some hot and humid conditions on the way. 95 on Monday would be a daily record high, and some daily warm record lows in the 60s.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
304 Talk 304, that is the text line, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. The phone number. We'll get to some of your texts coming up. Top of the hour, Hoppy Kercheval will stop by. Senator Tom Takubo in the state 17th Senatorial District, that's in Kanawha County, won his primary election, 3,858 votes to Chris Pritt's 3,019 votes. That was 56% voting for Takubo, 44% for Pritt. That was one of the most expensive and hotly contested Senate races. Nearly, I think we may have gotten over $1 million, actually, by Political Action Committee spent in that district. Joining us on MetroNews Talkline this morning is Kanawha County Senator Tom Takubo. Tom, good morning. Congratulations on the primary victory.
Hey, good morning. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Absolutely. So how did you cut through all of the noise, all of the negative ads that were going out leading up to Election Day and secure the primary win?
Well, we just told the truth, and I think that resonated well with the voters. I mean, this was the most unprecedented, grotesque, perverted thing I've ever seen in my years in politics. And it started on day one with a commercial founded in just absolute lies. I mean, they've gone out in a very pre-fashioned manner to find somebody that is out. Paula Scanlon, she was a college swimmer that had already been victimized, and they've gone to her with the lies and had her promote lies, and the very people that is trying to campaign on this, hey, we're protecting women's sports, was victimizing her again. And that's how the whole thing started. And then it just continued to go down a hill of perversion and lies. And, the people of Kanawha County saw through it. But, this was just unnecessary. It was grotesque. And to think that the governor of the state of West Virginia and the president of the state Senate was complicit in this. This was their plan of attack. It wasn't talking about issues. It wasn't talking about anything else. It was just an entire strategy based on let's lie and make it as bad and grotesque as we can, so that it just absolutely sickens people that they don't come out and vote. And I've just been the past couple of days trying to look back at this, and this was something I've never seen before. I don't think any of us has ever seen.
Tom, will this be an anomaly? And I know I'm asking you to predict the future here a little bit, but will this be an anomaly, or have we just started a new age of politics in West Virginia where it's going to resemble more D.C. style than what we were previously accustomed to?
I think when people talk about the swamp in D.C., I mean, this is a couple belts below that. When historically politicians go negative and they want to talk about things that another candidate has done that, people may not be happy with, that's one thing. But what they did is they don't know what to do. They don't know how to govern. I'm walking through the halls of the hospital today, and I'm doing my day job in the ICU, and there's people hanging on prayers for serious things that matter. And I have nurses come up to me, and they were disgusted by all this, and they're telling me stories how their parents in Wayne County right now don't have clean drinking water. I heard this story this morning. The governor of the state of West Virginia should be focused on that, right? If I was governor, whoever would be governor, every day, if I had that going on in my state, I would be saying, what have we done today to fix these issues? Give me an update. What are we doing? What I wouldn't be doing is out posting baseball cards and making fun and badgering people on social media. I mean, that's the things that I would scold my children for when they were in middle school. And I would try to teach them, be a better person than that. So it's just incredibly disheartening for me to see the behaviors of and the complicitness of our Senate president, of our governor, and these are the childish things that's going on, and we've got real problems. I got told yesterday we're getting ready to cut $20 million out of TANF. these are people that are needy across the state of West Virginia. These are some of the poorest, the most vulnerable people in the state of West Virginia. Man, focus on problems that are actually happening in West Virginia. Govern. And so it's I don't know. I sound a little frustrated, but boy, it is frustrating.
Talking to Kanawha County State Senator Tom Takubo, he won his primary challenge on Tuesday. There is a general election coming up. You'll face a challenge from Democrat Wes Holden. But, Tom, when you get back to Charleston, whether that is January, whether it's later this summer for interim meetings, everybody has said the right things, that they can put this behind them. The Republicans are on the same team. But you know as well as I do, people have very long memories. Is it possible? Can you all get together and govern when the attacks have been as strong and as brutal as they have been this primary season?
We're here to help the people of West Virginia. I don't have to like anybody. I don't have to agree with their behavior. I believe in redemption. What I would say to all of these folks that, contributed and participated with what I think was just an absolutely disgusting approach is, hey, do something good for West Virginia. If it's good for West Virginia, I can lay everything aside and work side by side and promote good things for West Virginia. Yes. So the short answer is yes. I think we can do that. If you've got a good idea, I will work with the governor or other senators or delegates or whoever, if it's a good idea. But when it's trying to fleece West Virginia and you're trying to pass stuff to pad your pockets and to pad your buddies that are funding this kind of nonsense. For example, the bill they had that was going to run coal-fired power plants, regardless if we needed the energy or not, just so that they could, have their buddies that have investments in coal trucking companies and coal-fired power, so they can make an extra dollar on the backs of West Virginians when everybody and their brothers tell them, hey, listen, this is going to increase energy bills by $240 million. It makes no sense. Why would you leave your air conditioning and your lights on when nobody's even at the house? But that's what they were trying to do. So that kind of nonsense, no, I wouldn't support that at all. But if you've got good ideas that's going to help folks, yeah, I'll support that every day.
Tom, you have had your critics as well who have said, hey, Tom Takubo and his political, I wouldn't say your political action committees, but there were PACs who supported candidates. You went out and recruited candidates to run against incumbents. Was that different, or how was that different than how the governor approached the primary election?
The difference is I went out and I found people that was willing to do the right things for West Virginia. I tried to recruit the best and brightest people I could possibly find. As a leader, I want to be the dumbest guy in the room. West Virginia's got a lot of problems, and it's going to take a lot of depth and breadth to fix these problems. We found guys that were petroleum engineers that were advisors to President Trump. We found attorneys that had worked in top business deals. We found, physicians that understand healthcare and the complexities. That's the people that we were trying to bring in that was really doing it. They don't need any of this. These guys are very, very successful in their day jobs. They were doing it for the right reasons. And they ran up against a wall of $5 million brought in from New Jersey and D.C. and New York to keep them out because they didn't want those ideas. They wanted people to say yes. That's it. And so that's the difference. That's the stark contrast. If people say, hey, there's a divide, that's the divide. I wanted people that was going to put West Virginia first, bring that depth and breadth of knowledge in here to try to help fix some of the problems we have. And the other side just wants somebody to say yes. But the problem is they don't have any ideas on how to fix anything.
Tom, how difficult was it to recruit candidates this election cycle? And given everything that's happened, how difficult do you think it will be to recruit candidates again or in 28 in the next election cycle if they are professionals, they have day jobs, they have other things to do? Will they look at this and go, I don't need that headache?
That's a great question. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult because, everybody, you talk to them about getting involved in politics and they say, oh, my gosh, what a dirty business. I remember my mother, when I told her I was going to run, she said, Tom, you've got such an incredible reputation. Why in the world do you want to get in politics and run that, right? Well, mothers are right. I should have listened. But everybody, they did something in junior high or whatever, and they worry about skeletons in their closets. They don't have, with these guys, you don't have to worry about ever making a mistake in your life because they're going to lie. They're going to lie anyways. And it's going to be the most egregious lies that you can possibly imagine. I mean, so yeah, I think it'll be incredibly difficult to get anybody of any caliber to run in 28 or any time if this is the kind of nonsense politics that they've drug into the state of West Virginia. They talk about us being a shiny city in the mountains, but I mean, this is sludge and mud that they've drug in on the beautiful mountains of West Virginia, and it's saddening and it's disgusting.
Kanawha County State Senator Tom Takubo, where do you go? What do you do from here, Tom? There's a general election coming up again. You got interims will be happening over the course of the summer as well. How do you put this behind you, or can you put this behind you?
You stay focused and you move forward every day and you work and do the right things, and people see that. And what I have said to my party many times, you don't have to cheat. You don't have to close the primaries to conservative independent voters that helped us get in charge and helped us with ideals in the first place. What you need to do is go out and do good policy. Do good things for the people of West Virginia, and they will reward you. They have rewarded us. We've had the strongest conservative agenda in the country, which cracks me up when these guys say, oh, we're going to be pro-life and we're going to be pro. We're already the most pro-life, pro-gun state in the entire country, but we need to focus on other things. It's great that we do Hope Scholarship. I'm all for educational choice. But what about the 90+% of kids in the public school systems? Are we going to turn our back on those people? So what you do is you go out and you keep doing the right things, moving things forward for the right reasons. And my good friend Vince Deeds, he says all the time, evil only wins when good men stand by and do nothing. And so what we're going to do is continue to fight every day, trying to do good things for the right reasons, and that's the best any of us can hope for.
Dr. Tom Takubo, Kanawha County State Senator, won his primary challenge and will face Democrat Wes Holden in the general election. Tom, thank you so much for the time this morning. We appreciate it.
Great being on here. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Tom Takubo, Dr. Tom Takubo there, Kanawha County State Senator. We'll get to some of your text at 304-TALK-304. That is the text line. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. This is Talkline from the Encove Insurance Studios. Back in a moment.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man. You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here, where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities, Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Bellevue Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The region's largest restoration firm, responding from 5 locations. When disaster strikes your home or business, call Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Kanawha GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Kanawha GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Text line is wide open at 304 Talk 304. Phone number is 800-765 Talk. 800-765-8255. 800-765 TALK. Text line is 304 Talk 304. West Virginia needs more politicians like Tom Takubo. Great interview, says the texter. Trying to be the dumbest guy in the room in the West Virginia legislature will be an awfully difficult task. That building is full of dumb people, says the texter. Well, that's not very nice. But you get the point. I mean, you get the point of what he was trying to say. When you are in a leadership position, you don't necessarily have to have all of the answers, but try to surround yourself with people who do have answers. That's the sign. I'll use the football analogy because I am familiar with it. That is the sign. The greatest thing a good head coach can do is surround himself with great coordinators and assistants. Nick Saban was a great head coach because, well, he knows the game. But he also, look at the assistants and the coordinators he surrounded himself with. Bob Pruitt, when he was at Marshall, surrounded himself with great assistants and let them do their jobs. The guys who are overbearing, controlling, have to do it one way, won't give anybody else any responsibility or control, they fail. They fail most of the time. You can see the same thing in politics. 304 Talk 304, the text line. Dave, I feel you contradicted yourself. If reliable clean water is more important than social issues, then anyone who campaigns on fixing the water problems should get support regardless of their stance on social issues. But if a person needs to have a conservative social stance to be heard about fixing water problems, doesn't that mean the social issues are more important than fixing the water problems? People will make their own choices. I'm just telling you, in the environment in West Virginia right now, you can come in and tell a voter, I got the fix for water problems. But if that includes the compromise there, or the trade-off is going to be that fix comes with liberal social policy, you're not going to win in West Virginia. You're not going to do it. So I don't know if that to you, maybe that to you means the social issues are more important. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation. Now, if you come in with a moderate stance, and I'm not, it doesn't even necessarily have to be conservative. I'm just saying something that is common sense and logical, you might have a shot. You might have a shot. But you can't be radical left and win in West Virginia right now. There's no way. Or at least in 99% of West Virginia. And that is my highly unscientific calculation. Speaking of highly unscientific calculations, Amelia mentioned the Twitter poll that I had up yesterday. For some reason, I'm fixated on voter turnout in this primary, trying to figure out who voted where. We had a highly unscientific, very unofficial flash poll on the X machine yesterday. If you are not an affiliated voter in West Virginia, what did you do on primary day? Sit it out, vote Democrat, or vote on the nonpartisan ballot? 45% said sit it out, vote Democrat, 41%, nonpartisan ballot, 14%. And those numbers kind of break out. A preliminary look at numbers seem to indicate, I think, this is my hypothesis, we're working on it, that's kind of what happened. Independent voters either just did not go to the polls at all, and the ones that did, most of them picked up a Democrat ballot. What does all that mean? We're trying to figure that out. 800-765-TALK, 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. Back in a moment.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life!
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
A couple of million could go a long way. The Lotto America jackpots start at $2 million and grow until someone takes it home. Drawings happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. With 9 ways to win, even the small prizes can feel like a big win. Just $1 to play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Coming up, Hoppy joins us. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, we have a much quieter day underneath some passing cloud cover in Charleston today and the state as well. No risk of severe thunderstorms and no risk of strong winds as well. Had a low of 47 and an average high, 76 yesterday in Charleston, 0.04 of an inch of rain and a peak wind gust of 40 miles per hour in Charleston. We have high pressure building in from the west today. A lot of lingering clouds and a low chance of a brief shower with light rain that is possible today and early tonight. And then we'll be warming up in the long term. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. Some select cities here. Orlando, near 86 today. Myrtle Beach, 74. 58 in Chicago, 61 in New York City. Watching for a chance of rain and storms in the northeast United States today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we got highs in the 50s to near 60. That'll be it. After that cold frontal passage, we're cooling down with passing clouds and a low chance of a shower. Some clearing skies tonight, lows in the low to some mid-40s. Eastern areas, partly sunny to overcast at times. Highs around the 40s and 60s. Cooler up in higher elevation spots, and the highs in the 40s there, and low 60s out in far eastern areas of the state. Some near frosty temps may be possible. Some 30s in some of the high elevation spots from east to west. Some upper 50s to low 60s in western West Virginia today with plenty of clouds working through, but again, likely dry. A few light showers are possible today and early tonight. And again, some lows in the mid and upper 30s in here. In southern areas, we have highs ranging from the mid 50s to mid 60s today, 65 in Huntington, low near 42 tonight. Mostly cloudy Charleston, high near 63. Watching for 2 chances of rain and storms Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and then the long-term Tuesday night to Wednesday. We also have some hot and humid conditions on the way. 95 on Monday would be a daily record high, and some daily warm record lows in the 60s.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of Metro News Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson with you. TJ's on assignment. He'll be back tomorrow for steam release. Wouldn't miss it, he said. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. Friend of the show, Fairmont State University political science professor Robert Bolton will join us bottom of the hour. We'll get his observations on this primary season. We'll get to your text as well, 304-TALK, 304, 800-765-TALK. The phone number, we'll get to your calls coming up in the next segment. Hoppy Kercheval, host emeritus and apparently now assistant executive producer of election night coverage, has a commentary over WVMetroNews.com this morning with his thoughts and observations about the primary election, and he joins us on Metro News Talkline. Morning, Hop.
Good morning, Dave. Thanks for having me.
How was it to get to sleep in on the day after an election day?
It was outstanding. Although I tell you, we were up till midnight and later, and then I got back home and I couldn't fall asleep. Right? I mean, you're
right. Yeah.
You're wired, and so I was up half the night. I couldn't fall asleep thinking about the election, and so I did have a chance yesterday to decompress a little bit.
So as you thought about the primary election, looked back, what was the overall storyline that just stood out to you the most?
Dave, you guys have talked about it a lot, and I think it carries over into the post-election. And what stands out about this election, several things, but at the top is clearly this divide within the Republican Party. This is, and I think I've said it on your show, this is historic. The fact that there was such a deep split, especially in these Senate races, and the fact that a sitting governor took such an active role in the primary. Usually, you never see that kind of really public participation. I mean, the governor went to Wood County and campaigned door to door against House Finance Committee Chairman Vernon Criss and helped raise funds to try to defeat Vernon Criss. And what stands out to me this morning is a story in West Virginia Watch by Amelia Knisley and Lori Kersey, where they talked to House Speaker Roger Hanshaw. And look, Vernon Criss would not be the Finance Committee chairman in the House if Roger Hanshaw did not want him there. So he's Roger's choice to be the House Finance Committee chairman. And here you have a sitting governor of the same party who worked hard to defeat Vernon Criss. Here's what Hanshaw told West Virginia Watch, quote, "It is sad that the governor chose to insert himself where he did not belong rather than focusing on doing his job these past several months. He said the House leadership and all House members will always focus on things that matter to West Virginia and its people rather than the out-of-state interests that fund the governor's PACs and pollute our mailboxes. Memories in the legislature last a long time, and we will remember these past few weeks." Wow. Wow. Think about that. Those are two people that you talk about, people of the same party. And Hanshaw who's a very cautious guy, is throwing down at the governor's feet.
And this divide within the Republican Party, it perplexes me because the people that you're talking about, whether it's Takubo, Vernon Criss, some of the others, those are the two names that jump to mind right at the moment. Hop, it's not as if we're talking about liberals or far-left progressives. These are guys who have voted to eliminate the state income tax. These are guys who have voted to strengthen abortion laws. As Takubo pointed out on the show earlier, we're probably the most pro-Second Amendment state in the country. So it's not as if you're campaigning against guys who became Republicans yesterday. And I find that part of that perplexing. So I'm trying to figure out where the divide comes from. And it feels more like it is personality driven. It is more about, dare I say, process driven? Like, well, this is the way I want to do things, and I want people who support the way I do things.
Well, Dave, 2 points, and that's a good observation on your part. I think a couple of things. One is that remember what it was about with Vernon Criss. Vernon Criss, and there's some others.
Oh, that was personal, though. I think that was personal.
Well, that was personal, but also, and this goes down a rabbit hole a little bit, and I'll get into personal in just a minute, is that Vernon Criss was among those who thought, well, this Hope Scholarship is getting expensive, $300 million. And we support homeschooling and supportive of funding for non-public schools, and we're all in on that, but we got to watch our expenses here, and maybe we curtail this a little bit. Well, that really triggered the national school choice folks who didn't want to see any rollback in West Virginia because West Virginia's become sort of the standard bearer nationally for having school choice. So that was a policy issue. On the personal issue, Dave, have you ever had like a really small difference with your spouse, and before the day's over, it's become like a big fight?
Of course not, Hoppy. That never happens.
Okay, maybe not you. But sometimes, little things become big things. And that's what's happened, I think, to a degree with the governor and some members of the legislature, is it starts out one place, and before you know it, it just kind of adds up. Now, let me add this, is that the governor of West Virginia, any governor of West Virginia, is in a very powerful position. He comes up with the budget, the legislature responds, he can veto parts of the budget. He is the chief executive of the state. He has tremendous authority. He can garner statewide attention anytime he wants. So you'd rather be in terms of power, you'd rather be the governor. But you need the cooperation of the legislature to accomplish your agenda. And now that is in question. Now that's in question. And you see what the House Speaker said. And we have to see now what happens with the Senate, because it ended up, as you guys have reported, kind of a push. Mm-hmm. So neither the Takubo slate or the governor's slate has a distinct advantage right now, and they will be deal-making and squabbling between now and the December to try to figure out who has the advantage to be able to determine the leadership of the Senate.
Talking to Hoppy Kercheval, his commentary is posted at WVMetroNews.com. TJ and I spent some time talking yesterday, and admittedly, maybe we didn't spend enough time before the election, Hop, on the judicial races, but the outcome of those state Supreme Court seats and the Intermediate Court of Appeals caught a lot of people by surprise on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they really did. And I said in the commentary today, and I think TJ had a good observation on this, I think others have made this as well, is that independents were shut out of the Republican primary. So either vote in the judicial races or vote the Democratic ballot. It was up to them. And maybe those independents joined with Democrats and looked at the judicial races and said, okay, those incumbents are probably Republicans. I'm going to vote against them. And that may have contributed to what happened with the two sitting justices on the court. Of course, they weren't that well known because they were appointed. And also the ouster of Dan Greer as the Intermediate Court of Appeals judge, which I think was a surprise. So that could be one of the explanations. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I think you're in the ballpark because TJ and I were talking off air yesterday, and we're starting to dive into the voter turnout totals and the numbers. And I think a lot of independents who were otherwise disenfranchised, when they did go to the polls up, they went there and did exactly what you said. They went there, they took either a Democrat ballot or voted nonpartisan, and they were going to vote against whoever was in the chair at that moment. And it kind of, that's a hypothesis. We're putting that to the test, but that sure feels like what happened on Tuesday.
Here's another kind of related, it's not related specifically to the election news, but and you saw this, I'm sure, in your inbox, is Montague County now has more Republicans than Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
22,006, not by many, 22,670 Republicans, 22,468 Democrats. So Democrats have so the Republicans have the advantage in Montague County, which has traditionally been a Democratic county.
But
has been since. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Hop, Democrat ballots outnumbered Republican ballots in this primary 2-1 in Montague County.
How about that?
So, I mean, if you've got the registration, great. But if they don't come to the polls, what good does that do you?
Yeah. Now you have just 4 counties in West Virginia that have more Democrats: Boone, Logan, McDowell, Mingo, and Boone County is 41 registrations away from flipping. Boone County. So again, it's part of this arc that's been going on for 25 years in West Virginia of the switch to Republican registration domination.
What do you make? We're talking to Hoppy Kercheval. He's got his commentary at WVMetroNews.com. You also mentioned former Morgantown City Councilwoman Rachel Fetty Anderson wins the Democrat nomination for U.S. Senate, won big in her home county, Monongalia County. I've got a thought on that, but what do you make of that nomination?
Well, a couple things. One is that, look, I live in Montague County. You work in Montague County, and I saw a lot of signs. I don't know what she did in the rest of the district, rest of the state, but she campaigned hard here, and and she's well known in Montague County, her home county, because she was on city council for a long time. And in Montague County, she got 3,900 more votes than Jeff Kessler. And Kessler, former Senate president, former gubernatorial candidate from Ohio County, and she got 3,900 more votes than Kessler in her home county. Meanwhile, you go to Kessler's home county, Ohio, and he only got 1,400 more votes than Anderson in his home county. So guess what? That home county matters, and it helped push Anderson to that, what some would say, a surprising win. And now you have Rachel Fetty Anderson up against a big hill to climb, but she showed that she can campaign and win, taking on the most popular Republican in West Virginia, U.S. Senator, one of the most popular, Senator Shelley Moore Capito. So, and also it might be that Democrats thought, how about a new face and maybe a little more left of center face than somebody who's been around for a long time.
No,
what was your thought?
That I think there's something to that, because we don't talk a lot about Democrats because, well, there aren't many of them left in West Virginia at this point. But remember, Bernie Sanders won the primary vote back in, 2016, the Hillary Clinton year, right? Bernie Sanders won West Virginia.
That's right. That's right.
He's popular among Democrats in West Virginia. So if you're a progressive voter, a progressive Democrat, same thing. Do you want somebody that's center left, that's Republican light, if you will? And that's my term. Or do you want somebody that's going to represent the things that you value? And I think there's something to that. when they heard Rachel's messaging. So
yeah, it's just, and props to her. That's pretty impressive win by her. It's just going to be hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you just face the numbers in November, and as we talked about with voter registration, it just gets harder every election to overcome the numbers, because she's going to have all the Democrats, every Democrat, and a whole bunch of independents to try to pull the upset.
Hey, but before I let you go, back to the state races, do you think Democrats have an opportunity here to make some headway? They're not going to flip anything, but make some headway in November.
Yeah, I do, because of these single-member districts. Well, we're gonna have a Senate race in Montague County, in the second Central District. That's gonna be big. Is it the second or is it the?
It's the 13th. Are you talking about the Senate
13th.
District? 13th now. Yeah.
13th. You're going to have a really good Senate race there with Williams and Oliverio. I mean, that's going to be a very, very competitive race. So Democrats have a chance to flip there. And then these House races where you have single-member districts, and you guys have covered that, where it's just easier for a candidate to go out and win a smaller number of voters. And you saw that, frankly, in the Republican primary, where 14 incumbent Republicans in the House got beat. So, yeah, there's a chance, an opportunity for viable Democratic House candidates to expand their numbers in the House for the first time in a long time.
Metro News Dean of Journalism Studies, Hoppy Kercheval, joining us today. How about that title? Huh? That's a new one I tried on today.
Just keep adding to it. Keep adding to it. That's fine. Hey, good job on election night. You and Jeff and the entire crew and did a great job, so I enjoyed being part of it.
Well, thank you. Our executive producer was outstanding on election night.
Who was that?
Well, you were the assistant executive producer, weren't you?
I was just an assistant.
Oh, okay.
but enjoyed the coverage. Good job.
All right, thanks, Hop. Appreciate you hopping on today. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hoppy Kercheval. Read his commentary this morning over at the website wvmetronews.com. Larry, we'll get to your phone call coming up on the other side of the break. We'll get to text as well, 304-TALK-304. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
Running a small business means wearing a lot of hats, and dealing with tech problems shouldn't be one of them. CityNet helps West Virginia businesses keep their technology running smoothly, from networks and computers to backup, security, and day-to-day support. Whether you don't have IT staff or you have a small team that could use extra help, CityNet can take care of the technology or work alongside your team to fill in the gaps. With proactive monitoring, fast local support, and solutions built on CityNet's fiber network, your business stays productive instead of reactive. Call us at 1-844-CityNet to get started.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Every day across West Virginia, healing happens here,
where skilled hands and caring hearts save lives. West Virginia hospitals are more than places of care. They are lifelines for our communities. Employing nearly 54,000 people, hospitals power local economies and help communities not just survive, but thrive. During National Hospital Week, we recognize those who care for us all, because healing happens here, and its impact reaches everywhere. A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Kanawha Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All-new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All-new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Kanawha Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Text line 304-TALK 304. Phone numbers 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Let's go to the phones. Let's head out to the Eastern Panhandle. Larry in Martinsburg. Hey, Larry.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy. What's on your mind?
Okay, I've been doing some research on all this Iran nuclear deal, and just want to read what I discovered.
Sure.
In October of 2015, the U.S., Russia, and a multitude of other nations completed negotiations with an agreement with Iran to essentially control their nuclear enhancement program. So in December of 2015, Iran turned over 25,000 pounds of their enriched uranium, which represented 98% of all the enriched uranium in their stockpile. It was enriched to 20%. That left them with 300 kilograms of low enriched uranium. They also dismantled 2/3 of their centrifuges and filled the core of their AROC plutonium reactor with concrete. They agreed to strict monitoring. They agreed to not enrich uranium beyond 3.67% until 2030. In 2018, Trump withdrew from the agreement, so Iran immediately started increasing its enrichment level. The Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation in May of 2025 declared that Iran had 400 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium.
Okay, what's your point?
My point is, everything was under control until Trump tore up the agreement, probably because Obama negotiated it. And Trump has no idea what he's doing, nor does he really care. And that's my point. And I'm sure a lot of people will not agree with that, which is fine. That doesn't mean they're bad or anything. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Absolutely. Larry, we appreciate the research. Thanks for letting us know. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Larry in Martinsburg. Coming up, going to talk to friend of the show, political observer Robert Bolton from Fairmont State University. We're going to get into the election. Also, going to get into the decision. You've probably seen this in the news. The decision in South Carolina to overturn the murder conviction, a high-profile murder conviction. Do I have your attention? We'll talk to Robert about that coming up. More of your text as well, 304-TALK-304. TJ is on assignment today. He'll rejoin us tomorrow. Said he would not miss steam release. He'll be back for us tomorrow on the program. Starwalt scheduled to join us on tomorrow's show as well. We'll get to your text coming up. The text line, 304-TALK-304, 800-765-8255. Also, if you go to the website, wvmetronews.com, we still have election results from Tuesday night. Some of these races, by the way, still too close to call. Some of these House races came down to 2, 3, 4, 5 votes. And we're going to have to see what happens in canvassing next week, but you get all that information at wvmetronews.com. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, we have a much quieter day underneath some passing cloud cover in Charleston today and the state as well. No risk of severe thunderstorms and no risk of strong winds as well. Had a low of 47 and an average high, 76 yesterday in Charleston, 0.04 of an inch of rain and a peak wind gust of 40 miles per hour in Charleston. We have high pressure building in from the west today. A lot of lingering clouds and a low chance of a brief shower with light rain that is possible today and early tonight. And then we'll be warming up in the long term. Fly Sierra forecast, it starts at home. Some select cities here. Orlando, near 86 today. Myrtle Beach, 74. 58 in Chicago, 61 in New York City. Watching for a chance of rain and storms in the northeast United States today. From Panhandle to Panhandle, we got highs in the 50s to near 60. That'll be it. After that cold frontal passage, we're cooling down with passing clouds and a low chance of a shower. Some clearing skies tonight, lows in the low to some mid-40s. Eastern areas, partly sunny to overcast at times, highs around the 40s and 60s, cooler up in the higher elevation spots, and the highs in the 40s there, and low 60s out in far eastern areas of the state. Some near frosty temps may be possible, some 30s in some of the high elevation spots from east to west. Some upper 50s to low 60s in western West Virginia today with plenty of clouds working through, but again, likely dry. A few light showers are possible today and early tonight. And again, some lows in the mid and upper 30s in here. In southern areas, we have highs ranging from the mid 50s to mid 60s today, 65 in Huntington, low near 42 tonight. Mostly cloudy Charleston, high near 63. Watching for 2 chances of rain and storms Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and then the long-term Tuesday night to Wednesday. We also have some hot and humid conditions on the way. 95 on Monday would be a daily record high, and some daily warm record lows in the 60s.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
We'll get to your text coming up, 304-TALK-304, phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Still decompressing from Tuesday's primary election results here in West Virginia. Some may say we're decomposing. I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder. Friend of the program, Robert Bolton, Fairmont State University political science professor, joins us. He was watching Tuesday. Also, get into a little something different with Robert as well. Robert, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dave, always glad to be on. Thank you for having me.
Let's start with this, and then we'll get back to the election stuff. Everybody needs a little break. But this story out of South Carolina, where the double murder conviction of Alex Murdaugh was overturned by the South Carolina State Supreme Court. The court ordered a new trial, saying that the woman who served as court clerk exercised improper external influences. So, I mean, this was a high-profile case down in South Carolina. Robert, what do you make of all this?
Well, it's a very useful reminder why judges at the start of any criminal trial instruct everyone who's involved in the proceedings, be them the attorneys, the witnesses, the defendant, the jurors, but also court staff, why they are not supposed to discuss the proceedings with outsiders because of this exact type of issue. And all I can say is I actually read the opinion from the South Carolina Supreme Court this morning, and it was scathing in its criticism of the county clerk, Rebecca Hill, who was involved in these proceedings.
I saw a report that she was trying to sell a book, or thought somehow this would help sell a book.
Yes, not only was it supposed to be a little titillating that, he was clearly guilty when he went to go testify in court, which is extremely unusual for a criminal defendant to do, and it was considered at the time by most legal commentators as a Hail Mary pass. But also, quite frankly, if you have a not guilty verdict, no one wants to buy a book about that because that makes it appear as an unsolved murder. But if, on the other hand, you obtain a conviction, suddenly the case has resolution and justice for the deceased. So her putting her thumbs on the scale actually ended up resulting in her getting a criminal conviction late last year, as a matter of fact, over this.
Robert, for folks who may not have been following, I realize I did the thing that I I hate when we do this in the media. Explain to folks what the clerk did here that caused all of this controversy.
So basically what happened was Ms. Hill was speaking to the jurors at different points in the proceedings. So there's something called an ex parte communication, which means when someone involved in the legal system is talking with a third party outside of the observation of the judge. And in this particular case, the county clerk said comments that were considered prejudicial to Mr. Murdaugh receiving an unbiased jury and fair defense. For example, Ms. Hill said when he was getting ready to testify not to be fooled by his testimony, which was extremely compelling because he talked about finding his dead wife and son. And then also she commented on that when he decided that he was going to testify that this was an epic day. And those individual small comments, maybe one of them by themselves would not have been sufficient to declare a mistrial or have this conviction overturned. But when they cumulatively indicate that the court itself and its staff have already adjudged this man as guilty, it put pressure on the jurors to return a guilty verdict because they're saying, in so many words, well, if the judge's staff, if the court system already thinks this guy is guilty, we're going to look foolish if we don't think he is guilty.
Talking to Robert Bolton, Fairmont State University political science professor. Robert, you were watching Tuesday night during the state primary election, specifically the Republican primary election. I'm sure you were watching in the weeks leading up to it. Here's my question to you, Robert. Have D.C. politics officially now arrived in West Virginia?
Yeah, I think to some degree it is. This has always been a little bit of a case for candidates. For example, I received dozens of mailers by the time Election Day arrived on Tuesday. and it was regularly who is the most pro-Trump candidate. And you saw really, in my opinion, a pretty strong ideological divide within the Republican Party, because at this point, that's the only game in town. If you want to hold statewide or local elected office, absent a couple of municipalities and the token 10 delegates you have in the state legislature, you have to be a Republican to survive. And it became a division between the pro-business sector of the Republican Party and more of the social warriors, those who are concerned with those cultural issues. And you saw that divide with many of the mailers. It wasn't always a one-for-one. There are some who managed to thread the needle of appearing conservative on both of those. But you did see somewhat of a Republican Party civil war in this primary election.
And here's the part of that I told Hoppy, this perplexes me, Robert. And so there's got to be other layers to this onion, because that is a simple way to describe it, and I agree with you. But those pro-business candidates, if you look at their history, they're conservative. I mean, yes. Robert, they voted to many of these guys who were supposedly against tax cuts, voted to eliminate the income tax. They voted to prohibit boys and girls sports. All of these social issues have been dealt with by many of these people in the legislature. So I get that's more of a comment than a question to you. There's got to be more to it, because that is a simple way to case it. I totally agree, but there's really not that big of a divide there. So there's got to be a divide somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's a question of, do you vote with this particular person 100% of the time or 95% of the time? And I think the greater issue you saw in all of this is a question within the legislature of who was pro-Patrick Morrisey as governor and who viewed him at more of an arm's length and don't really care for him much as a personal matter. And I do think that made a big difference. Yep. And quite frankly, you saw in this election the influence of a huge amount of outside money. I know with many of the mailers that I received, you would see that they were from Americans for Prosperity or other groups that are not necessarily headquartered in West Virginia. But yeah, overall, I do think it ultimately boiled down to more of a personality clash. For example, in the state Senate, it was a battle between supporters of Randy Smith, who is more closely aligned with the governor, and Tom Takubo from the northern part of the state, who was received probably the majority of the criticism within the state during this primary race.
At least by the spending, that's certainly true. There was, Robert, $1 million, in the neighborhood of $1 million spent by political action committees on one state Senate race. And that's something we've certainly never seen.
Yeah, no, previously, I remember even 10 years ago, $100,000 was considered an extremely large amount. And if I remember correctly, even about 6 years ago, Harrison County had the most expensive state Senate race ever. It was about $500,000. Now, that what previously was something you would see in a congressional race, those levels of money are now being seen in local politics. I would be curious to also see what the amount was spent in the Supreme Court and the intermediate court races. I don't think it was as much, but I do believe that there was a pretty significant amount of money spent there as well.
Well, Robert, the folks I have talked to since Election Day seem to think that got lost in the shuffle. It may have been the most important of any of the races on the ballot, but got lost in the shuffle with all of the attention that was on the state Senate and on particular House of Delegates races. And because of that, people were shocked at the results on Tuesday.
I personally was fairly surprised as well. I had a feeling before the race that Justice Gerald Titus, was going to probably have a harder time because he was so new. He had only been appointed on December 12th, so he was somewhat of a unknown brand. But I suspected Tom Ewing, his problem was going to be the fact he had only one challenger with Bill Flanagan, who was a current incumbent House of Delegates member. But yeah, part of the problem I think with that is when it comes to judicial races, because of ethics rules, they are curtailed in what they're allowed to say, so it becomes more of a race about personalities. And most lawyers are relatively conservative personality-wise. They're buttoned down, they're restrained. The other thing is it's hard to explain to most people what what the judiciary does. I'll just give you one brief anecdote. The one forum that you had for all the Supreme Court candidates was held about a week and a half before the election, after early voting had already started, and it was hosted by the West Virginia Bar Association down at Stonewall Resort. I went to it, and there were exactly 13 people who showed up among the public. Me, my wife, and then about 11 other people I counted. And, it was live streamed, but not many people watched it. And when it comes to the intermediate court, because it's a relatively new institution that only started about 4 years ago, there wasn't really, even though those are both hugely impactful positions, very few people were aware of what they did. They didn't even know who to vote for. I know I probably had a dozen people who called me and asked, well, who do you think would be a good candidate to vote for about that?
I've heard that. I've heard that too from anecdotally folks calling their friends who are either lawyers or in the legal system somewhere, going, I don't know, what you tell me. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have called you before the election, Robert.
Well, Dave, if you and I had wanted to have a conversation off the record, I would have been glad to make my suggestions. I will say one last thing about that, though. When it came to who was going to win, I knew in the latter days of the race, you saw a huge influx of ads, or at least I did, on both social media and via text messaging for Kirkpatrick. Now, perhaps he would have already won because he had decades of experience as a Raleigh County Circuit judge and had overseen some pretty prominent national trials. But I do think that social media push towards the end helped put him over the top.
He's Robert Bolton, Fairmont State University political science professor, friend of the show. Robert, we appreciate your insight today. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me on, Dave, anytime.
Absolutely. The rest of the show belongs to you at 304-TALK-304. You can always give me a call at 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. At WVU Medicine's Heart and Vascular Institute, excellence is not just a promise, it's proven. Our advanced heart surgery program ranks among the top 3% of the nation by the Society of Thoracic Surgeons and was named a high-performing hospital by U.S. News & World Report with multiple areas of distinction. In medicine, we lead with world-class outcomes and groundbreaking procedures. Visit wvumedicine.org/heart. Talkline continues from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline, keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Kanawha GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Kanawha GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK, the phone number. It may not feel like boat weather right now, but soon enough it will be here. Get ready with great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out the entire inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. Let me see. Where do we leave off? Texter says, I support both Senators Takubo and Smith, and I hope they put West Virginia first and work together. It appears that there's strong feelings on both sides that need resolved for the benefit of West Virginians. Let's see. Texture says, good morning, listening on WVLY, the watchdog from Wheeling, West Virginia. Well, thank you very much. We love Wheeling. Shelley Moore Cabido, sailing back to another 6 years, so hit her up next interview with the clean water and sewer issues across the state and across the U.S. Her big interest has been getting fiber optic access for all in West Virginia. Internet is a necessity in today's world, but nothing trumps clean water access. Find out if she has given the issue any thought or a back burner issue. You know, the only thing a sitting United States Senator can do is direct funding back to West Virginia for that. I mean, we'll ask about it, but you direct funding back for a specific issue. Then it's got to be up to localities. That's really where this has to start, is local public service districts in some areas of the state are either not equipped or don't have the funds to keep up. And this is sort of the issues you get. 304 Talk 304. Hey, Dave, I think the decision to exclude independent voters came back to bite the Republican Party. Yes, they have the right to close their primary, but they should have not included them a few years ago, only to tell them that they're not allowed to vote in the primary. The optics are terrible. Independents were included for 30 years up until now. In fact, Democrats didn't open their primary until, I think it was 2016. They didn't open their primary to independent voters. And now Republicans close the door. Independent voters who do not want to be affiliated with one party or another, but still might vote on your ticket. How do they react in November? Are some of these seats that were won by the governor's slate, are they in question in November? I think that's a legitimate question to ask. And I don't know. I mean, to go through each single-member House district and try to understand the demographics and the voting block there, I mean, that takes a lot of analysis. But if you're an independent voter and you were disenfranchised and you didn't get a chance to weigh in the primary, are you going to go support candidate A, or are you going to cast a protest vote for candidate B, or in this case, candidate D, if you will? I think Democrats are in a good position. If I'm Mike Pushkin, I said this yesterday, chair of the Democrat Party, state Democrat Party chair, I would feel pretty good heading into November. You're not going to flip majorities, certainly not, but it's small steps. And if you can pick off a few seats, a couple in the Senate, a few in the House, that is going to be an achievement right now. That's going to be an achievement. And it should say something, too. I'll go this far, and should say something about leadership on the other side, that under your watch, your party has lost momentum. Final break. Back to wrap things up. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The Lotto America jackpot start at $2 million and grow until someone takes it home. Drawings happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And with 9 ways to win, even the smaller prizes can feel like a big win. Just $1 to play in-store and online, 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The current jackpot is $25.75 million. Get your chance at manageable millions. Couple more texts, 304-TALK, 304. Dave, I enjoyed the interview with Tom Takubo. He seems like a very reasonable guy, and I think the Chris Pritt team tranny mailer against Takubo was the most reprehensible kind of mudslinging. However, don't be surprised if Takubo uses similar mudslinging against his Democrat opponent when we get closer to November. I would be surprised. I would be very surprised if that happened. Dave, I'm curious if Republicans will open up the Republican ballot in future elections to independents. Well, that issue is not settled. And there was actually money that came in from political action committees late for state executive party races because that issue is not settled. It was about 50-50. It was about 50-50 when the Republican Party dealt with this earlier this year. All right, TJ's back tomorrow. Steam release at 11:33. Steyerwalt joins us tomorrow. Please give Dave Allen and Amanda Barron your full and undivided attention on many of these same Metro News radio stations. Talk to you tomorrow.